Hello everybody and welcome back inside the State Champs studio along with former Michigan State Spartan McKenzie Long. My name is Liles. And Kenzie, what I've realized about us and on this show is we love Fridays. I don't know what it is, maybe it's just because it's the start of the weekend, but I know that we've seen a lot of good softball happen on Fridays. Is it something in the air? Is it the Friday vibes?
Yeah, I think, one thing is the weather's been nice recently on Fridays, which has been awesome, getting some games in. But, Fridays are fun to play on. There's, the kids don't have to stress about going home and doing homework. They get to relax. It's the start of the weekend. So, yeah, I think there's something special about playing on Friday.
And who doesn't want to just go play a game right after school, Let's put the homework aside, let's go have some fun.
Exactly.
And just to validate my point a little bit further, let's take it back to last Friday. Hudsonville beating Mattawan in that top 5 showdown, and what a performance it was by Hudsonville's pitchers.
Yeah, Ava no-hit them in the first game, and I think that's super exciting because of how well Mattawan has been doing last year, the culture they've created. But what's crazy about it is every single player in the Hudsonville lineup had a hit.
Right.
And I think that's super cool because that's hard to string along.
Yeah,
hits.
for
and so
sure.
Their ability to do that is really what separates them.
How rare is it to have, 1 through 9? We talked about it last week, how important it is when you're rolling to have that whole lineup, But how rare is it to have a squad that can do 1 through 9?
Yeah, 1 through 9 hitting is really cool, and they're led by their leadoff Megan, who went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a home run. But that's awesome. But usually the leadoff doesn't have a ton of RBIs.
Right.
But Megan was able to have 4 RBIs in that game because 1 through 9 was performing.
Right. And going back to the pitchers, to have that 1-2 punch, what makes them so dominant? Is it like a different pitching style? What makes them so dynamic to work together?
Yeah, they've only let up 7 runs in 10 games, which is awesome. And I think, their ability to go game 1 and have a good performance, but their second pitcher having game 2 and also leading up with a great performance is really what's going to allow them to separate them.
Do they specialize in a different pitch? Does one tend to throw rise balls, one tend to throw curve balls, anything like that?
Yeah, I think they do. And I think one of the things that helps them is their ability to keep their hitters off balance. And because they're both able to do that in such a unique way, that's what separates them.
Well, I've been ranting and raving about how great Fridays are, but apparently Monday is a good day for softball games as well. Algonac swept the doubleheader from Utica Ford. Ella Stevenson, 2 home runs. Kenna Bomarito, 15 strikeouts and a home run. How dominant were they in that doubleheader?
Ella had 2 3-run home runs that day, and I think her ability to perform at the plate is a big deal for their team because she had 7 RBIs on the day, and that's what's going to allow them to move forward.
How much of a game changer is it when you have somebody hit a 3-run home run? Just talk about good spirits being lifted up. How much of a game changer is that?
Yeah. Grand slams come few and far between, but 3-run home runs really are the difference maker in a game. Your ability to have 3 runs in one at bat is really kind of what separates the team because 7 RBIs is hard to come by, and so her ability to do that consistently is what's important.
Right, and moving on to another game on Monday, Dakota beat Plymouth 8-2, and Megan Nectarline really just making a statement on why she should go back-to-back for that Softball Player of the Year. And another thing that stood out to me about this game is how much fun Dakota is having.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch too. I think that's what separates them as well. Dakota has 3 pitchers that are going Division I, and so last year a lot of the innings were put on Megan Nectarline.
Right.
But this year she's able to separate, and now we're seeing what a star she is in the box. And I think that's the difference maker is her ability to perform in big games and allow her to score when the team needs it is what's really, really important for her.
And I love being able to see the personality. This is a game. We're supposed to be having fun, and you can finally just see them taking weight off their shoulders and just being able to go out there and have fun and know that they are capable of winning and just having a good time while they're doing it.
I think what's cool about Dakota is they have a lot of players that play travel ball together.
Okay.
2 of their 2 starting pitchers play for Turning 2 together on the same exact team.
Right.
And so their chemistry is unique. But what's also fun about that is they actually have 2 players that are committed to the same school in Brooklyn Clitt and Alyssa Balcom. They're both committed to Oakland. So now you're seeing that dynamic that's happening between friends that are teammates that also play together in travel ball, and it's super cool to see.
And do you see that often? these high school players playing with the same members that they play on for travel ball. And how cool is that to be able to see that bond carry over from having such a long winter into this high school season?
Yeah, you see it more often than not now these days, but not as, it's unique in the fact that they're both pitchers, you know. I think that's the difference maker, to have your aces, so to speak, being on the same travel ball team. And playing for Gracie Maloney's dad, I think that's what allows them to have that bond. They know what each other needs, and it's fun to watch.
Right, and you said like that bond, and they know what each other needs, and I feel like it's so important to have somebody that you could be like, I know you've been in this situation, help me out, how do I get through it, what do I do next, right?
Yeah, I think that's speaking volumes to what they need in a specific moment and what they need when the pressure's on. And really what's the difference maker for Dakota recently is the fact that Megan's been able to come up in big situations hitting, but we're also seeing that with Gracie Maloney being able to come up in big moments hitting as well. And so knowing what they need and knowing that they performed in big games in travel ball gives them the confidence to say, hey, I've seen you do it before, I know you can do it again.
Absolutely. And moving on ahead to the Backyard Challenge.
Yes.
What a fun weekend the Backyard Challenge was. And we really saw some teams this weekend kind of come out and make a name for themselves, right?
Yeah, the Backyard Challenge was awesome. I think it was cold. It was rainy.
Cold.
It was rainy, but they were able to get the games in. And one team that really stood out was Heartland. You know, they had a tough road, tough schedule, and they made it all the way to the championship game, and essentially with only one pitcher.
Right.
That's huge for their movement, being able to move forward.
How difficult is that for a pitcher when, I wouldn't say you're like the only one, but to like sort of look at your team and be like, okay, this is my role and I have to go out there and do this for my team. How difficult is that, sort of carrying that pressure?
Well, Kylie Swarkos is a very seasoned pitcher on the mound. She was able to play her freshman year with another Division I pitcher that allowed her to follow in her footsteps a little bit. But I think the thing that makes Heartland unique is they had to play South by and East, which is a really, really good school. And then right after that, had to play Allen Park. And so her ability to put back-to-back games together on the mound is huge for their ability to move forward in districts and regionals. Kylie has 95 strikeouts to only 3 walks.
It's insane.
Like, that's
insane.
So not only are we seeing that she's able to put back-to-back games together, but she's also not fatigued in back-to-back games and able to throw strikes, command, and be really, really effective.
Right, and you mentioned, getting closer to tournament play. She's kind of right now proving to herself that when we do get into that district, regional, I can throw games back to back and not get tired. I'm capable of doing that.
Yeah, when you look at somebody like Dakota, they have 3 pitchers, right? So when you go into districts, you have to play 2 games back to back to win.
Right.
And so it's a little bit pressure is taken off of them because
they have those girls.
Exactly. They have 2 pitchers that can throw. And not that Heartland doesn't have another pitcher that can throw, but Kylie is going to take the bulk of the innings. And so showing early in the season that she's able to put together 2 complete games is huge for them and their momentum.
Right. And another fun little piece of the Backyard Challenge that we saw, Allen Park has 3 sisters. And I don't want to say, sibling rivalry or anything, but they definitely didn't want to let one outshine the other.
Yeah, Molly, Mallory, and Mia all had home runs in the same game. I mean, I think that's so cool.
It's a little like, okay, I respect you as my sister and I respect you as my teammate, but I'm not going to let you outshine me.
Yeah, they have an older sister that's at Wayne State right now, and so they've kind of been doing this together for a long time, and I think it's just, I don't know, I just think it's so cool that they were able to hit 3 home runs in the same game. I think, 3 home runs in the same weekend is a big deal, but the fact that they were able to put it on in the same game, kudos to them and congrats to them to be able to accomplish that as a family.
Mom and Dad got to be proud.
Yeah.
Mom and
Congratulations,
Dad.
you guys. That's
Congrats,
awesome.
Mom and Dad. Congrats to the family. That's
exactly.
Awesome. We do want to give a quick shout out. Congratulations to Goodrich head coach Don Peters, who recently had his 1,000th career win. Kenzie, I know you're a coach. How tough is it to go out there and win 1,000 softball games?
I mean, it's hard to even fathom, especially this early in my career, but 37 seasons at the helm for Don Peters. He started at Brandon. He spent a lot of time at Clarkston, and now he's at Goodrich. And I think it's cool to see his transition and his ability to win at multiple places. And what I think is cool about Don is the fact that he knows what each team needs to help them be successful. And you've seen that in the way he's coached. And I think, congratulations, Don. I think that's super awesome.
That's what I was going to ask you. Every school and every softball program is not the same. And for him to be able to transition from team to team and know exactly what he needs to do at each different level is insane.
Yeah, Clarkson has always been a huge, just a really, really tough opponent, and they've had really, really good players. And so he knew what that team needed, and he knew how to coach them, and he knew how to coach. They had a lot of Division I caliber players, and he helped lead them. I mean, he has a state championship. He's went to 5 semifinal state champions or semifinalists. I think, now he's in a different situation. He's coaching his granddaughter right now, which is awesome. But he's able to transition and now go from, okay, I'm leading young women who already know what they're doing, they're Division I, to now leading and coaching after 37 years. I think, kudos to him.
All right, well, it is time to talk Softball Player of the Year presented by Turn Into. This week we are going to profile our reigning Softball Player of the Year, Megan Nectarline. Just so dominant. That's one of the only words that come to mind when I hear her name.
One of the things that makes Megan so dominant, right, is the fact that she's able to perform in big games. Right? We saw that in the Backyard Challenge. We saw that in the Dakota game, or Dakota versus Plymouth game. Her ability to put together good, strong performance when the game and the team needs it is what separates her. She had the walk-off bomb in the 9th inning at the Backyard Challenge. She followed it up with a 2-run home run against Plymouth, and that's just in the box. That's not even what she's known for, which is pitching.
Right. And to be able for her to perform, like you said, in those big moments, and you can see it just in their team dynamic that they trust her and they want her to be in those positions to win the game for them.
Yeah, exactly. To your point is they want her to be in those moments. And right now she's averaging over 15 strikeouts per 7 innings. And so most people, when you hear Megan Nectarline, you hear about her pitching performance.
She's a pitcher. Right.
Yes. And so, but when she's able to, lead off the 9th inning with a runner on second due to international tiebreaker, first pitch, hit a home run in the game, in a game that she's not pitching, again, goes back to her ability to perform in big games and the fact that her team trusts her and wants her in those moments.
And you can see just, she's kind of the captain of the team, and just how much of a presence she has as a softball player and as a role model in that dugout.
I think that's a big deal. For her, when you think of somebody like Megan, what you think about is pressure, right? And what you think about is her need to perform, but you never see that in her. You never see the pressure become too much. You just see her get in there, have some fun, rely on her teammates. Right. And I think when you're able to be a dominant player, but also rely and trust your teammates around you, and show that in your communication and your leadership, that's what separates you, and that's why her teammates trust her, is because she shows trust to her teammates.
Absolutely. And you can vote for Megan or any of our top 10 members at statechampsw.com. Our voting is live now, and if you are leading the voting, that member can never be taken off of our list. Well, Kenzie, if we can get that darn weather to start cooperating with us, Anchor Bay is hosting a tournament this weekend. What can we expect from that?
Yeah, I'm excited for that tournament. Heartland's playing Mercy in their first game, and it'll be fun to see, can Heartland continue stringing together really good games, and can Mercy stay dominant? And so it'll be exciting to see that matchup, and along with the other games going on.
Oh, for sure. And let's hope for some good weather. I know I talked about how Fridays are so great for games, but we want every day of the week to be great for softball. Let's hope those bats stay hot.
Yes, and let's hope those stud middle infielders continue to turn too.
State Champs Swing Away is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Be curious, make magic, visit ltu.edu. Swing Away is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud sponsor of the MHSAA. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Who will be this year's award winners? Find out live June 5th only on State Champs Sports Network. Turn Into Softball. Experience Turn Into Softball, where the mission to build champions both on and off the field.